As a pediatric oncologist, I've had a long-standing interest in traditional and complementary and alternative medicine. Our initial activities really focused on how they were being used by children with cancer and their families within the United States. But as we began to explore it further, we realized that it had a global importance, that as we attempt to improve the health of children with cancer outside of the U.S., particularly in developing countries, it was really important that we understand the context of traditional healing practices and how they would impact cancer care. So I have really in the last 3 to 4 years, have begun to have more of an interest in global health, particularly around the use of traditional complementary and alternative therapies in cancer care. Working in international health settings has really significant rewards because I think it allows us to really have a greater impact beyond just the immediate sphere of patients that we're caring for here in New York or within the U.S. One of the areas that we've been interested in is looking at how beliefs about traditional healing practices impact abandonment rates to conventional cancer care, which is a real problem in developing countries. And so by working in this setting, by helping the physicians at the local sites understand how traditional healing practices may lead patients to abandon potentially curative therapies, we're potentially keeping more children on therapy, which will ultimately improve the cure rates and improve the health of children with cancer, in a much broader sphere. So it's really taking the knowledge that we've had in the U.S. and expanding it outwards, which can be a very rewarding experience. It's very important for pediatric residents to be exposed to global health. There are some residents that are, have an interest in working in other sites, so for them to get firsthand knowledge of this during their training period will really have a direct impact on their eventual career goals. But it also is important for helping to understand the cultural context of many of our patients here in the U.S. For example, in the work that we're doing, looking at traditional healing practices, by helping residents to be more aware of what these practices are and how they're impacting decisions that parents and patients make about health care, it'll allow them to take care of their patients better in the future, whether they reside here in the U.S. or whether they reside in other countries. So giving exposure to residents will create just much more understanding, more cultural sensitivity, which will make a better physician.